All right, who's going to be the next big-time prospect to commit to Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs? That's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. There are several big-time targets who have announced that they are going to be making their decision in July, but I think several Georgia targets are going to be making their commitment in June. Of course, June is when everyone takes their big official visits. The Dogs are going to be hosting some top targets across the country just about every weekend in the month of June. And then July is commitment season. So while I do think they're going to pick up some commitments in June, I've got a giant list here for you of Georgia targets who have already said, hey, I'm going to commit in July after these official visits. And I think Georgia is going to load up on commitments this summer. It happens every summer. This is what happens. It's recruiting season. It's commitment season. And as I said in another video, I think Georgia's 2025 class is about to take off. They're coming off a massive recruiting weekend, one of the biggest of the calendar year this past weekend at Scavenger Hunt weekend. And then in 2 weekends, that weekend of May 31st, that's when several major Georgia targets will be in town for official visits. And right now, I think they are sitting in a good spot for a lot of them. I'm going to talk about that in today's video. But first, shout out to collegebronze.com. Listen, don't scramble for your Father's Day gift. It's right around the corner. You've got plenty of time to get your Bulldog right here for a discount. Promo code DOGPOST. Get a discount on this 35-pound Bulldog, the next member of your family. The details in this Bulldog, you're not going to see anything like this out there. It's the best on the market. I know a 5-star when I see one. This is a 5-star product. Get yours today. All the info is in the description below, but you got to let your neighbors know that you're a dog fowl. You're a dog family in a dog house, if I can get those words out. But get yours today. Great Father's Day graduation gift. So the first guy I do want to talk about is Zaden Walker. He is a 5-star and one of the best overall defenders across the country. He's my number 4 prospect in the state of Georgia. And if I had to make a guess right now, as far as who could be Georgia's next commitment, I think it's Zaden Walker for a few reasons. Number one, he's already said, I'm committing on July 5th. Wouldn't surprise me if a very successful official visit to Georgia the weekend of May 31st kind of got that process going. This would not be a surprise to me if he does commit in June. But right now, he's scheduled to commit July 5th. I think this is a Georgia-South Carolina battle on the end. He's got a close relative. I think it's a half-brother, Jalewis Solomon, already on the roster at South Carolina. And that's a team that's a real threat to Georgia. But he was in town this past weekend for the scavenger hunt. He'll be back in 2 weekends for his official visit. He's been in Athens several times over the last few years. He's been a major Georgia target since he was a freshman. 6'2", 225 pounds, 40 tackles last year, 17 tackles for a loss, 7 sacks, over 20 quarterback hurries. This guy lived in the backfield, attacks the quarterback, but a guy who can run and hit, and he's been a Georgia target for years now. I think Georgia sits in a good spot for him. So if they do not have a commitment come July 5th, I think Zaden Walker is that guy. Now, if they decide to take this wide receiver, Javin Bogs, the day before, that could be a guy to keep an eye on. But I think he is a planned kind of C option at wide receiver out of Cocoa High School, Cocoa, Florida, Cocoa Beach, one of the Cocos, somewhere in Cocoa, Florida. 6 foot, 200 pounds, one of the bigger receivers. They want guys that are 200 pounds a receiver. They've got one already, Thomas Blackshear, on the commit list. Javin Bogs is a guy that has an offer. I don't think he's above C.J. Wiley, Travis Smith Jr. at that wide receiver board. He might be the 5th or 6th guy, but he caught 93 passes last year, over 1,500 yards, 24 touchdowns in the state of Florida. That's impressive. Again, former Ohio State commitment, and he's committing July 4th. It's down to Georgia, Central Florida, and a couple other schools. Georgia is the biggest school on his list. He's down to a top 4. Georgia is the biggest program, best team in that Final Four. So if he has the green light to commit and they don't have a commit by July 4th, which would be surprising. That would be surprising. Javin Bogs could be that guy. Now, if for some reason those guys aren't on a commit list, and for some reason someone didn't jump in July, jumpstart the process, Travis Smith Jr. is a guy that I think is trending Georgia's way. He's making his decision July 13th. You know all about him now. If y'all watch this channel, you're update on everyone. I make a video every day and half of them are about recruiting. So you know about Travis Smith Jr. now. Your whole family, all your buddies should know about Travis Smith Jr. right now. 6'4", 200, Westlake High School. I've been writing about him for a while. There's 2 updates, I think, on this young man over on Dog Post. A lot of free updates, by the way. So there's no excuse why anyone should not be up to date on Georgia recruiting, because they can read a whole bunch of free stories on Dog Post right now. We're trying to get you through the offseason, trying to get you through May. So read some free recruiting stories over on the website, and then buy a subscription, because they're not going to be free the whole summer and into the fall. I can guarantee you that. But this is a guy, caught 53 passes last year, just under 900 yards, 11 touchdowns. He's got size. He's got body control. He's got ball skills. He is a big target down the field, lean, athletic, but he's got a muscular frame with some length and toughness and big, strong hands. He can leap up and win those jump ball situations. He's a red zone target. He can be tough to bring down after the catch. There's a lot to like about his game. He's one of the best receivers across the South. And I think this has been a Georgia-Tennessee battle for some time now. I've said that for a while. Still think that he's going to commit between Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and Auburn. I think Georgia has a comfortable lead right now from what I can gather behind the scenes. Taven Wallace, a linebacker. If for some reason Zaden Walker is not on the commit list right now, Taven Wallace, maybe he's a guy who, if he gets the green light to jump on board, he could commit in June. But 6'1", 210, he's committing July 15th. He's going to be in town for an official visit in mid-June. But he's a playmaking South Georgia linebacker whose brother played at Kentucky. He just got drafted into the NFL. Again, 6'1", 210, who can run, who can deliver a big hit, knows how to tackle, knows how to wrap up, brings that South Georgia toughness, Wayne County. He's a playmaker. He's a hard-nosed linebacker. I think it's trending Florida State's way. Just never felt like Georgia was making him a top priority. I may have that wrong. He's a really good player. But it always felt like they had Jaden Perlotti on board after what they took in the last class. Justin Williams, number 1 wide linebacker. Chris Cole, number 3 linebacker. Chris Jones, another playmaking, versatile linebacker. That I thought they'd take just 2 true middle linebackers, Jaden Perlotti and Zaden Walker. Those were the guys. Like I said, I think Zaden Walker's trending Georgia's way. So it always felt like Taven Wallace, as good as he is, was always a plan B, C option. But if he's able to jump on board and has that opportunity in June after a successful official visit, we could see that. But if July 15th rolls around and for some reason Georgia has maybe missed on a couple guys or whatever, he is a name to know. Christian Garrett, I do think Georgia will have several commitments on board by the time late July rolls around. But late July, you've got Christian Garrett coming off the board July 20th, same day as Cortez Smith, 2 guys that I think are both trending Georgia's way. So July 20th could be a day where Georgia gets 2 commitments. Write that down. It's in 2 months. In 2 months from basically today, Christian Garrett, 6'4", 285, lean, powerful interior lineman. Nearby Bogart, Georgia, Prince Avenue Christian, back-to-back state titles. He's a big reason why. Number 122 overall prospect in the country, 86 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, and again, state champion. He's a state shot put champion, I believe, but he's had a Georgia offer for I think over a year. Solid 4-star, one of the top defensive line prospects in the state. I think he's trending Georgia's way, so he could give Georgia a commitment on July 20th. And Cortez Smith is a versatile interior lineman out of Parkview that I've always been high on. He doesn't, he's not 6'6", 330, 340. I think he's more of the 6'3", maybe 6'4" in his tallest day, I think. Maybe I've got that wrong, but I think he's like a solid 285, 290, but he's a guy who moves really well. I think he shows strong hands and feet as well, but he moves. He can pull in the run game and get to the second level and bury defenders, but he opens up a lot of run lanes. He does the dirty work in the trenches, can play center, can play guard. And I think if he has the green light to commit like I think he does, I think Georgia is the team to be right now, and I felt that way for a while. So he's a 4-star interior offensive lineman to know out of Lawrenceville, Parkview High School, that I think is trending Georgia's way. So there's a lot of big-time prospects that I do think will make a decision in June, maybe after a Georgia official visit early in the month or in the mid-month. We see it every year, guys. So like, I don't want to wait. I know I have a commitment date of July 20th, but let's let's just knock it out. I know where I want to go. Let's commit. And sometimes that does happen in June. So just a few guys who have already said, hey, I'm making my commitment now. And a lot of people think it could be 5-star linebacker Zaden Walker. I think that's a pretty good guess in my opinion. But, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you get one of these bad boys right here. Discount, promo code DOGPOST in the description below. I'm telling you right now, your dad's going to love it. Your grandfather's going to love it. Your son, if he's a dad, he's going to love it. Everyone, this is a family gift, but you can get it for your dad, grandfather, whoever, for Father's Day and graduation. So get it today. Discount, promo code DOGPOST, all in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you on the website.